Welcome to the Ball Street Social with me, Ped. Paul sitting over there quietly because we're going to be talking about Liverpool finishing in the top 4. Yeah. I think we had this discussion about 3 weeks ago.
And it was all looking good.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was looking sound,
we
wasn't
beating
it?
teams that we weren't expected to beat. Everything was rosy. We were coming up.
They were the salad days.
Yeah.
They were good times.
The salad days?
Yeah.
Salad days. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it is, yeah. It is a thing.
What type of thing is it?
It's salad, basically. It's a good thing.
Is a salad day a good day?
It is if you're
into salad.
If you're into salad.
Right.
And have like problems with your blood pressure and stuff. But I digress. Anyway,
you've got to clarify these things.
What is it about?
A salad day.
Yeah.
I've never heard that term used before.
That's
ever.
fine, but I have, and I'm old.
Education with Baz.
Well, my name's Ped, so there
sorry.
you go.
Same thing.
We were doing maths, now we're doing literacy.
yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to start again?
No, carry on.
Right.
Salad days, is that from like the Weight Watchers guide or something? I don't know. I think my mum did that. It was like
No. As you can probably tell, I've never read the Weight Watchers guide, so I like to scan it. Yeah. Whoa, fuck off.
Can't eat that. Nah. Yeah. No,
So top 4, Liverpool. Is it still on?
The worst thing about us at the minute, and I'm sure you guys can relate to some extent, is that particularly a couple of months ago, you start looking at the top 4 and we keep saying the word, we're only X amount of points away from X position that you're aiming for. So when you're going really well, we're only 6 points behind first place in the league, and then that goes out, so it starts to become 4th, and then it becomes like the European places, and then you're starting to look at like how far you are after relegation zone.
Is that Inter-Toto still going?
How do we get into the Fair Play League this year? But it's one of them things at the minute, and that's the thing that's doing my head in about it. I was, like 2 weeks ago, people were talking about the title, and I thought that was absolutely ludicrous. But I felt like top 4 was absolutely...
It's not like Liverpool fans to talk about ludicrous things, is it?
Never. Or make
That's where the term deluded Scouser comes from, but down my way.
Is that a term?
What?
It's not a
Down
term.
my way.
Can you cut the Scouser bit out of that?
No, because he is a Scouser and he's not deluded though.
I thought you said down Norway then.
Yeah. So I mean, but it's one of those things where I thought top 4 was absolutely nailed on. You know, we seemed to be playing a good brand of football. We were getting results. We were getting the better than the sum of the parts out of that team, and it was looking fine. And then we looked at December and we were like, this is it, Sam. We've gotten through our tough run of fixtures, done really well.
I know the feeling.
We're looking at teams that we should be beating, and we've dropped points to basically everyone. Anyway, it's like, do you want some points against Liverpool? Have some points.
What's changed? I mean, what's changed from going to Stamford Bridge? You know, everyone generally wins at Stamford Bridge. What's changed from going to the Etihad and beating, destroying Manchester City, and then you go to Newcastle, a team that, without being too controversial, are shite.
There you go. How many minutes?
Another bingo card time.
58.
I've done well. Well, no, a very, 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 very average.
Oh look, Liverpool.
Newcastle side. How is it that you went there and got beat by them?
Genuinely, I don't know. I think a lot of it boils down to the fact that we still haven't cracked goal scoring. You know what I mean? We don't know how to score goals. Yeah. And I think when you're playing against a team that you're not expected to beat, when all the onus is on that team to come and try and beat you counter-attack. Look, the teams that we're talking about who are flying high are teams that have a very good ability to play on the counter. Watford did it to us. Leicester did it to us. But the problem is that it's the expectation of Liverpool. There's not many teams in the Premier League that will allow you to play counter-attacking football against them. So, there's limited opportunities. We haven't yet learned how to go and take the game by the scruff of the neck, slap the people around the place, and come away with the win. And when you walk into games like against Newcastle and West Brom and Watford, particularly with the two games either end of that away from home, we don't have what it takes at the minute to break those teams down.
I'll ask you because being the biggest rivals, but when you've seen them beating Southampton, 6-1. I mean, okay, it was the League Cup, but it meant a hell of a lot to Southampton on the night. But to beat them 6-1, I mean, I know on that night my heart did generally sink because I just thought, hell is coming back to earth once again.
See, I wasn't so convinced. You know, I thought, yeah, okay, Liverpool, yeah, they've done all right. But then, as you said a few weeks ago, they've been on a steady path, and there's always, that little thing around the corner where,
Well, we hope.
Yeah.
We always hope that thing's around the corner.
Could get beat.
But what got me was, I mean, you were starting to get those wins away.
Yeah.
And I just thought, okay, Palace at home, they're a difficult side, but I thought you'll start adding to that. And like the Swansea game, you got a little 1-0 win, and it started to feel like he was getting the balance right. And it's just that weird the way.
Then began the Klopp loving.
There's always been a Klopp loving me. You don't want to live in this.
Well,
But you just feel like maybe those players took their eye off the ball, thinking, well, we've got the away sorted. Yeah. It's just about getting the home ones now.
Yeah, this is it. Again, Watford harried, pressed. Did everything you expect them to do. The crowd were amazing. All that stuff, and it all feeds in. And I think that I don't know whether we think that because we're able to do it against some teams, whether overconfidence does creep in. Klopp said himself, he said, on one end of the scale, you've got us beating Man City and smashing Southampton, and then you've got us losing 3-0 to Watford. And he said, neither of those is a true reflection of where this team is. The honest truth is it's probably somewhere in the middle. And at the minute, we're probably more like a 1-0, 1-all, 2-1 kind of side. But we've not found that just comfortable balance at the minute.
That's a good point, because it's not really Klopp's team, is it?
Well, this is it. And
it's still early days.
Yeah.
Come this time next year, or maybe just after, the transfer window closes.
Let's give it about 4 years.
But I think what we're lacking, and we were saying about Chelsea to some extent as well, is that you've got to have your best players need to perform, and you need to have world-class players. When you've got world-class players in your team, and then look, I know the Premier League is kind of making a mockery of this, but follow me on this to a certain extent. When you're a big team and you're playing against teams that don't look to be ambitious and look to beat you, you need special players to step up and win the games for you. And we don't. Daniel Sturridge is that for us. He's never fit. Phil Coutinho threatens to be it. And is it for one game and then isn't it for the next game? For me, God knows what he's doing at the moment. We just don't have those type of players there who just go, right, fuck it, we're better than these. I'm going to score and we'll sort the rest out afterwards. And I think that's a lot of... I think that's where a lot of your troubles have come from this season, is that you're meant to be relying on these guys to go and win your football matches, and you wouldn't pick... I look at the fancy football every week and go, if I was to pick a Chelsea player, I don't know who I'd pick, because I don't know. There's no one there you'd rely on to actually go and win the game for the team.
I think it's with us. I think it's complacency from last season. I think that's what it was. It was along with Mourinho. You had the complacency of, we won the league, we'll be fine. And then it's. I think we're in a very different situation to Liverpool, because our fall from grace has been so drastic, whereas yours has sort of been a little more subdued, as in it's been less of a gradient.
I keep saying Liverpool, it was a death of 1,000 cuts.
Well, let me ask you.
I've been a Liverpool fan over the last 5 years.
Let me ask you a question, right? Used to. With new managers coming in, I know yours is temporary and obviously Klopp's long term, but whose position would you rather be in? Chelsea, who are the Premier League winners, but seem to have this team which just seems to be split in half at the moment, or Klopp, who essentially hasn't got a team of his own and is preparing it for the next stage, getting all the idea. Basically, Liverpool at the moment, he's been able to see all the sides of it, which is really important, I think, because you want to get an idea of what you're dealing with. So going into January, which one would you rather be?
I think I look at Chelsea's squad and think, again, the opportunity to get an Eden Hazard working again, he's better than anything we've got. Absolutely miles better than anything we've got on his day. Chelsea have got some better individual players, so having that available to you is a good thing. But what I think personally, and obviously I'm sure you're weighing in a sec, is that Klopp, and some guy said, one of the lads said to post Watford, he kind of said the rest of the season to some extent is a bit of it's almost like an extended pre-season for Klopp to some extent. And I don't mean let's write the season off, but it means he's got the rest of this season to just get himself bedded in, and then so he knows by the time he gets to summer exactly what he needs to get where to improve the squad in whatever way. The problem Chelsea have got, I think, is that unless they're going to give it to Hiddink full time, I kind of don't see the point of him being there because a new guy's going to come in at some point in the summer and he's going to have to reassess everything. And does that put you a summer behind when you start in the next season?
I agree. I would personally, currently, if we're talking about the factors, keywords you use there were individual and Klopp. Chelsea is a team of individuals. That's been proven this season, where people haven't come together and mounted a charge for what people at the beginning of the season would have seen as Chelsea's defending champions. They will be there again.
Yeah.
The whole Klopp factor is massive because of the way when Brendan Rodgers was in charge, it was a very, very, very scattered changing room from an outsider looking in. And the whole Klopp effect, the first thing I thought of was, what it was like at Dortmund, where he basically created this fortress, and it took him a few years, but he did it. And then you see him with Jordan Ibe, you saw him at West Brom, against West Brom. You might have drawn 2-2, but you sort of go and say thank you to the fans. Whereas at first was like, why are they doing that? And they realise, wait, Jurgen Klopp. And you're just building a mentality.
You get it.
Nonsense, absolute nonsense.
Anyway,
no, I think that's really interesting because I think it's really good that Liverpool have shown all the sides to Klopp, because there's always that temptation that you're playing really well, you hear a squeaky door, and then as a professional you carry on. There's always that temptation when a manager comes in, and obviously you get that bounce factor that you get to January and everyone goes, everything's okay, don't worry about it, and then the honeymoon period wears off. Whereas he has seen all sides of it. He's seen every single side of them, and there are many sides.
Many multifaceted.
And he can now go, that's spot on analogy about it's been a pre-season, because Liverpool could still win a couple of trophies this season, no problem. But if they don't, I don't think anyone's ever going to say,
Klopp out.
Yeah, Klopp out.
Yeah, no, I think it's a very good point. No, I'm excited. I think
you look excited.
I think it's just one of them. Honestly though, when it comes back to it, the most important thing for us is just to start winning some football matches again. And if we can just get a couple of wins, I will never write. I don't think it's possible to write those top 4 places off at all, because the fact that Man United are slipping out of them, you know what I mean? Who'd have said that? They were right up there. The only team who look like they're totally grasping this league is Leicester City, and I think we'd all
they're guaranteed top 4.
Still sit here though and go, we think they'll probably drop off at some point, you know what I mean? No one's doing it, and no one's absolutely got it nailed on. So until the point where it's mathematically impossible, I'm going to maintain hope.
Positivity.
Absolutely.
On that point, I'm going to let you finish the show.
Oh, thanks, mate.
There you go.
Pass the baton back. There you go. That is the Social Club show for this week. Thank you very much to our dynamite host, Ped.
Oh, yes.
Thanks very much, Louis. Go and check out 100% Chelsea, of course. Go and check out United People's TV for a bit more of Irah. Of course, Toffee TV, because you got the magical and mysterious John Meadow on there. If you don't know who he is, you will do soon. And also check out the Christmas special as well. The Lads and Toffee TV and ourselves have done like a Mersey-themed Christmas special quiz, which is a beast. Do go and check that out. That'll be on the Redman.
It's not
YouTube
what you
channel.
think when you think Mersey theme either, because I see your mind's ticking over.
Yeah, fine. Anyway, we're going to wrap that up there. Give this video a thumbs up. Go and subscribe to the Ball Street YouTube channel for more great content.